Have you ever stopped to look closely at the small, silvery coin sitting at the bottom of your pocket or coin jar? If you happen to live in Canada, or if you're a coin hunter anywhere else in the world, you might just own a piece of a quiet revolution. Today, we are diving deep into the history, design, composition, and hidden value of the 2011 Canada 5-cent coin. While millions of these nickels were minted, this particular year stands at a fascinating crossroads of modern numismatic history. It bridges the gap between traditional coin production and a major shift in modern minting technology. So, grab your magnifying glass, get comfortable, and let's explore the story of the 2011 Canadian nickel. Part 1: The Evolution of the Canadian 5-cent coin. To truly understand the 2011 nickel, we have to travel back in time. The Canadian 5-cent piece hasn't always looked the way it does today. In fact, when it was first introduced back in the 19th century under British colonial rule, it wasn't a nickel at all, it was a tiny, delicate silver coin. Because silver was expensive and the coins were so small, they were easily lost. By 1922, the Royal Canadian Mint made a massive change. They switched the composition to pure nickel and enlarged the coin, giving birth to the iconic term nickel. Decades later, in 1937, the Mint introduced the legendary beaver design created by British artist George Kruger Gray. That industrious little beaver resting on a log became an enduring symbol of Canadian hard work, perseverance, and wilderness. With only a few temporary exceptions, such as the 1951 Centennial coin and the 1967 Confederation commemorative animals, the beaver has remained the proud staple of the reverse side of Canada's 5-cent coin for generations. Part 2: Anatomy of the 2011 nickel. Fast forward to the year 2011. By this time, the Royal Canadian Mint was facing a modern economic dilemma. The global price of raw metals, particularly nickel and copper, was fluctuating wildly. Minting coins was becoming increasingly expensive. If you look at a standard 2011 Canadian 5-cent coin, here is what you are holding in your hand. The obverse front features the mature effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by acclaimed Canadian portrait artist Susanna Blunt. Her Majesty is depicted without a crown, facing right, surrounded by the traditional Latin inscriptions, Elizabeth II d. Regina, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen. The reverse back showcases George Kruger Gray's classic beaver, perched proudly on a rock. Above the beaver, you will find the face value 5 cents, and below it, the year of issue 2011, alongside the small mint mark indicating its production at the Ottawa facility. Composition: this is where 2011 gets really interesting. Throughout 2011, the Royal Canadian Mint was in a transition phase regarding its coin blanks. Traditional 2011 nickels were composed of multiply-plated steel, specifically, steel plated with nickel, which replaced the older solid cupronickel or pure nickel compositions to save costs and prevent metal hoarding. Weight and dimensions: it has a diameter of 21.20 mm, a thickness of 1.76 mm, and weighs a lightweight 3.95 grams due to its steel core. Part 3: Is your 2011 nickel worth anything? One of the most common questions coin collectors ask is, can a modern circulation coin from 2011 actually be worth money? To answer this honestly, we have to look at the numbers. Millions of 2011 nickels were pumped into circulation by the Royal Canadian Mint. Because of this high mintage, a standard circulated 2011 nickel found in your loose change is generally worth just its face value, 5 cents. However, numismatics, the study and collection of currency, is full of thrilling exceptions. Smart collectors do not just look at the date, they look at condition, composition, and errors. 1. Mint state and uncirculated condition. If you find a 2011 nickel that came straight out of an original mint roll or a specialized collector set, and it has never touched dirty pocket change, its value rises. Coins graded in pristine, mint state, MS 65 or higher, can hold a small premium for modern collection builders who want a complete, flawless run of Queen Elizabeth II era coins. 2. The multi-composition and experimental blanks. Because 2011 marked a heavy era of testing new plating technologies and cost-effective metal compositions for the Royal Canadian Mint, minor test strikes and composition anomalies occasionally slipped past quality control. While rare, collectors always keep an eye out for off-metal strikes or unusual weight variations. 3. Mint errors. The holy grail for modern pocket change hunters isn't the date, it's the mistake. In high-speed mass production, things can go wrong. Keep your eyes peeled for die cracks and cuts, raised lines or blobs of metal caused by a cracking coin die during the stamping process. Clashed dies, faint outlines of the Queen's portrait bleeding through to the beaver side, or vice versa. Off-center strikes, where the blank coin wasn't properly aligned under the pressing die, leaving a dramatic blank crescent on the edge. If you happen to find a 2011 nickel featuring a dramatic, authenticated mint error, its value can easily jump from a few cents to 20, 50, or even hundreds of dollars depending on the severity of the mistake. Part 4, How to Hunt and Store Modern Canadian Coins. If this has inspired you to start searching through jars of old change, here are a few pro tips to help you get started on your coin hunting journey. Get the right tools. Always use a pair of cotton numismatic gloves or handle coins strictly by their edges. The oils and acids from human skin can permanently tarnish modern metal finishes. Grab a good 5x or 10x magnifying glass or loupe to inspect the tiny details around the lettering and the beaver's paws. Sort by decade, organize your finds into coin tubes or heavy-duty 2x2 cardboard coin flips. Separating your Canadian nickels by decades helps you track which years you are missing. Check the edges. While 2011 nickels have plain, smooth edges, checking them ensures you haven't accidentally mixed in an older reeded nickel or a foreign coin of similar size. Keep learning. Numismatics is a vast ocean. The story of a simple 2011 nickel connects us directly to global economics, shifting metal markets, centuries of Canadian wildlife symbolism, and the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II. Conclusion. The 2011 Canada 5-cent coin might look like an ordinary piece of modern pocket change at first glance, but it carries a rich lineage. From its deep roots in the colonial era to the industrious beaver emblem and the economic transitions of the 21st century mint, every coin tells a story. So, next time you empty your pockets, take a second look at that little silver-colored disc. You aren't just holding metal, you're holding history. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Canadian coinage, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more numismatic history, and let me know in the comments below, what is the coolest old coin you've ever found in your pocket change? Thank you for watching, and happy hunting.